Hello there, Bruffy1322 here. This video will show a complete rundown of the fastest cars overall in Grand Theft Auto 5. This isn't just going to be another meaningless straight line test or opinion though, because I actually wanted to do it properly, so I drove each car multiple times around the cutting corners track under the exact same conditions. The best lap time that each car achieves will determine its place on the leaderboard. For more detail, check the description down below, but otherwise let's get straight into it. So we start with the sports cars class, and in 10th place we've got the Bravado Banshee. This managed to achieve a lap time of 1 minute 4.036. We are only going to be focusing on the top 10 sports cars in this video, but if you do want to see the lap times that 5 of the other sports cars achieved, they will be down in the description. So in 9th place we've got the Schwartzer Fusillade, which got a lap time of 1 minute 3.902, so that's only a tenth quicker than the Banshee. Though these two are sort of in their own little area really in 9th and 10th. They are a fair bit of pace off 8th, but quite a far off the Sultan, which ended up in 11th. So in 8th place we have a bit of a gap to the Rapid GT, which managed to get a 1 minute 3.01. This is a nice quick car. It just doesn't have the overall traction that you might need for the top spots really. So yeah, it's not too bad of a car, but a 1 minute 3.0 is nothing special. In 7th place we've got the Coquette, which got a 1 minute 2.671. Again, nothing really that special about this. It isn't too bad of a lap time, but it's still only really equaling what the Exemplar can do, which is a 4-door coupe. So it is a quick car, but it just doesn't really have the traction. So in 6th place we've got what might be a bit of a surprise to people with the Carbonizer. This only managed to get a 1 minute 1.634. So it is 1 second quicker than the Coquette, but it's a fair bit of pace off the leaders as well, so it's not really a fantastic car. It just doesn't handle the corners very well. So yeah, 6th place was the Carbonizer, but in 5th place we have the Serrano. Now I actually had to buy this in free roam because it wasn't available under normal circumstances, and this managed to get a 1 minute 0.8, so it was worth buying because it shot straight up into 5th place. And these top 5 cars are really in a class of their own. So in 4th place we have the 9F. Now the 9F managed to get a 1 minute 0.598, and this 1 minute 0.5 lap time is going to be quite popular, as you'll see in the next few cars. It is a quick car this. It does have very good speed, especially in a straight line. It just tends to be a bit tail happy as well, so you have to control it in the corners. But in 3rd place we have the Comet. Now the Comet managed to get a 1 minute 0.555, so only really 0.04 of a second quicker than the 9F. Again, the Comet does seem to be a little bit tail happy at times, because obviously it's meant to be a Porsche, so the engine's at the back. But it is very quick. It's got good traction in the corners, it's got good speed and good acceleration. It's a very nice car. As long as you can handle it around the corners and make sure you get the most out of it, it will give you a very quick lap time. But it is only the second of our 3 cars that are basically in the 1 minute 0.5 lap time. And in 2nd place we've got the Schwartzer. The Schwartzer got a 1 minute 0.509. Now again, this is only another 4 or 5 hundredths of a second quicker than the Comet, so as I said, 2nd, 3rd and 4th are only separated by 1/10 of a second. There's not a lot to choose between them. And the Schwartzer is very nice. It's very quick. It's very planted, it'll do exactly what you want it to do. If custom cars aren't on, it's certainly the most reliable car to use, and it's the quickest. Now that should give you a clue as to what is in 1st place. Because although I said the top 5 cars are in a class of their own, really the top car is in another class entirely. The Anis Elegy RH8, the car that everybody gets for free by signing up to Social Club, is our 1st place car. And this managed to achieve a lap time of 59.772 seconds, a stonkingly quick lap time. This car is by far and away the quickest sports car in the game, and rivals the supercars as well for times. A sub 1 minute is a supercar level lap time, as you'll see, so this is a really quick car. If you haven't got it for free by signing up to Social Club, you need to do that because it's super fast. Now I have to say I was very surprised to see this hit the top spot. It is a custom car because obviously you can't choose it in a race normally, but it is stock, you know, I wouldn't put any mods on it or anything like that. And this is a stock lap time just to compare all the cars as they should be. and I was totally surprised that it managed to get this 59 seconds. It's the only sports car that got into that lap time, and I just couldn't believe it. I thought that it would be just maybe 5th or 6th or something like that, and I was just testing it to see what it could do. For it to be so quick, it was unbelievable. But anyway, that's the 59-second lap time from the Elegy, as you've just seen, and now it's time to move on to supercars. So in last place for the supercars we have the Bullet. Now the Bullet is terrible, really. You don't even need to bother with it. It gets a lap time of 1 minute 2.235, which wouldn't even get it into the top 6 in sports cars. So it's just horrible. It doesn't have any kind of traction. If you want it for looks, fair enough, but not for speed. Don't bother. So in 6th place for supercars we've got the Vaca. Now this managed to get a 59.960. Still not as quick as the Elegy, but certainly the 7th fastest car in the game. And all of the supercars are pretty close together. It's probably the closest class that I've seen doing these videos. So that's the Vaca in 6th, and in 5th we have the Voltic, which managed to get a 59.522. So 4/10 quicker than the Vaca. And now we are into cars that are beating the Elegy for time as well, so we're hitting a new level at this point. Voltic is good, it just doesn't really have the traction in the corners, especially at slow speeds. So in 4th place we have the Infernus. Now this is very close to the Voltic because it got a 59.300. Very, very close lap times there, only 2/10 quicker, but the traction in the corners is what makes the Infernus so good. You can just throw it in and it will grip. However, our top 3 are in a class of their own. In 3rd place we've got the Cheetah with a 58.934. So only 3 cars in the game managed to get under the 59-second mark. Again, the Cheetah is quick. It's very, very quick. It's got good acceleration, it's good everywhere. All of the top 3 supercars are good in most places. The only thing that lets the Cheetah down really is its speed in slow speed corners, I would say. Sometimes it feels a little bit too big. But yeah, a very, very, very quick car, and you could certainly do a lot worse, to be honest. But it is only 3rd place, and in 2nd place we have what may be a surprise to some people who don't race that often, but it's the Adder. Now the Adder is very quick in a straight line. However, because it only managed a 58.868, which is less than a 10th quicker than the Cheetah, it shows that it isn't quite as quick in the corners. The Adder, it's so hard to get the top lap time out of it because it's just so difficult to control in the corners. Well, I wouldn't say it's so difficult to control, but it's very difficult to be quick through the corners. And if I had to choose between the Adder and the Cheetah, I would probably choose the Cheetah, to be honest. But yeah, that's 2nd place for you, the Adder. But in 1st place, it should come as no surprise to anybody who races normally, it's the Entity. The Entity is on another level. This managed to get a 57.502. A full nearly 1.5 seconds quicker than the Adder in 2nd place. The Entity is, without a shadow of a doubt, easily the fastest car in the game, and by a long way. It is supreme. If you're racing in supercars and you don't choose the Entity, you're going to lose. Simple as that, unless everyone else in the race is terrible. The Entity really just has everything that you could want from a car in this game. Traction, acceleration, speed, it's got everything. But I had actually managed to only get a 58.1 for quite a while with the Entity. Now that wasn't pushing it to the absolute maximum, but it was obvious that the Entity was going to be the quickest car. It had already got 7/10 quicker than what the Adder could do. But I also wanted to just see how quick it could actually go, and that's when I started to go really push it and start to go for those 57-second lap times. And I was staggered to actually to manage to get a 57.5. I was expecting to sort of just break into the 57s with a 57.9 or something like that. But actually you will see 2 laps here, and the first lap is a 57.50, and the second lap I've actually calculated to be a 57.56. So unbelievably, even hitting 2 lampposts in both of the laps, I managed to get a 57.5 in 2 laps consecutively. I must have been going crazy at this point, I was just on it, but it just shows how quick the Entity can be. It's incredible, it's just fantastic. And that concludes our countdown of the best cars in Grand Theft Auto 5. I hope you enjoyed the video, I hope it helped you in any way. If you did enjoy it, or if it helped, be sure to click the like button, share it around, use it in arguments against your friends. If your friend's saying one car's quicker than another, you can use this video as proof that it actually isn't. And yeah, I'd really appreciate, you know, if any comments that you've got about it or anything like that, because you wouldn't believe how long it took me to make these. It's taken me hours and hours. I think I calculated that I'd done about 750 laps of this track, just getting all of the times and making sure everything was as correct and right as it should be. So yeah, I would really appreciate, you know, any kind of like or comment or anything that you can give me. And if you want to see the quickest cars in other classes, all of the links to that will be in the description down below. Also, I'll be doing a discussion video as part of my racing series on all of the classes, just to talk a little bit more about the lap times and how I went about it and things like that. So if you're interested in seeing that, when it's done, I'll also put a link in the description and an annotation on the screen when that's completed. So if you want to check that out, be sure to do that as well. Thanks for watching, guys. I really appreciate it. I hope it's helped. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.